If you've ever wondered whether karma is real, stick around. This isn't a story about me pulling off some clever act of petty revenge. This is about how life itself, karma, fate, whatever you want to call it, did the work for me and handed me back my peace. And if stories like this give you even a little bit of satisfaction, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life tales where karma gets the last word. I'm Daniel Fisher. These days, I live in a quiet corner of Munster, Germany, the kind of place where people still nod at each other when they pass on the street. On summer mornings, you can hear the church bells echo off the old brick houses. On weekends, kids race their bikes down cobblestone alleys. It's peaceful, and that's exactly what I need now. But back in the early 2000s, my life was anything but peaceful. My first marriage was collapsing like a house of cards. My wife, Sophie, the woman I'd spent 12 years building a life with, walked out to be with another man named Martin. In a single week, I lost my partner, my plans, and my sense of direction. She didn't just leave emotionally. She left me with a 6-digit pile of debt. Because she'd hardly worked during our marriage, the court ordered me to pay her a monthly pension adjustment of €300. It felt like salt on a wound. Every month the payment went out. Every month, it reminded me of what I'd lost. I didn't hate her. I didn't even hate Martin. I just felt hollow, drained, like I'd been running a marathon with a stone backpack. Sophie and Martin married in 2009. From the outside, it looked like a fairy tale. They posted holiday photos from Spain, drove leased cars, opened credit lines for new furniture. But fairy tales have budgets. 2 years later, the facade cracked. Both had to file for personal bankruptcy. While their life spiraled, mine slowly healed. I started going to exhibitions again. One rainy Thursday, I met Laura at a small gallery. She was an art teacher with paint smudges on her fingers and a quiet, patient smile. We talked for an hour about a photograph of an empty pier. A year later, we moved in together. For the first time in years, I felt the ground under my feet. Meanwhile, Sophie's health slid. Years of neglect had left her with serious dental problems. It was painful for her to chew, and even harder to speak in job interviews. Friends told me she was phoning everyone she knew, asking for money, saying she was a victim. I didn't gloat. I didn't send cruel texts or "I told you so" emails. I simply declined. In my journal, I wrote one sentence: anger won't change her. It won't give me my years back. Then came December 2024. Sophie got very sick, but refused to see a doctor. Pride, stubbornness, fear, I don't know. After a week, someone finally called an ambulance. She was rushed into intensive care. She died the next day of multiple organ failure. She was only 51. That same day, my monthly payments ended. Under German law, Martin could inherit the right to apply for part of that pension. He did. But before a single payment reached him, in February 2025, he too died suddenly, also in his early 50s. I heard the news from a mutual friend. I sat at my desk, staring at the phone. No thrill, no triumph, just a long, strange exhale, like letting go of a weight I've been carrying for 15 years. That evening, Laura and I walked by the river. The winter sky was pale pink, the water dark and heavy. She noticed how quiet I was. "You're thinking about Sophie and Martin," she said gently. "Yes," I said. "How everything ended." She squeezed my hand. "Karma," she whispered. "Maybe," I replied. I never wished them harm. I just wanted my life back. And somehow, without me doing anything, the scales balanced. Back at home, I wrote my last note about them in my journal. Revenge doesn't always look like a showdown. Sometimes it's just living better and letting time do its work. I closed the book. Laura sat at the kitchen table grading papers, a cup of tea beside her. The hum of the radiator filled the room. At that moment, I realized the real victory wasn't their downfall. It was my freedom. If this story gave you even a little satisfaction, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments the funniest or most satisfying way karma has ever repaid someone in your life. And of course, subscribe for more real-life stories where karma gets the last laugh.